Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to a flow designed to open the heart and of course the upper back, and to show yourself some love on this day of festivities. So when you're ready, we're going to set up for our back bend. I'd love for you to have 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can always stack pillows instead. But if you have 2 blocks, take one on the lower height, one on the higher height. Set yourself up so that you bring your shoulder blades down to that lower horizontal support, and then the higher block supports the back of your skull. So adjust your way until you're comfortably supported by both blocks. I like to keep my knees bent, bring my feet wide, and let the legs collapse in towards each other. And then let the arms come out to the side and close the eyes. Feel this immediate expansion of the heart, opening of the upper back, support of the skull, getting heavy through the entire body, especially the hips, and those knees knocking together, supporting each other. So as you land here and soften the face, maybe you take a small smile through the lips, so just lifting the corners of the mouth, still soft through the expression of the face. But this slight smile, bringing a sense of gratitude and love towards yourself. And to honor this heart-opening practice, can you imagine the color green spreading across your chest, representing the heart chakra, the chakra that supports self-love, love for others, compassion towards ourselves and others. And this is what we'll invite into our practice. So imagining this color green rising and falling with breath. Every inhale, the green spreads across the chest as it rises. And every exhale, you feel yourself getting a little heavier on that prop as the color green stays at the center of the sternum. Let's cultivate breath in and out through the nose if that feels okay. Focusing the mind right here, right now, asking yourself what it means to show some love. If there is an intention specifically that you want to work with, I invite you to say it quietly to yourself here. And then continue with that breath. Continue with that visualization of the color green. Continuing to soften and get heavy with the body, supported in this back bend. When you're ready, you can slowly start to blink the eyes open and wiggle those fingers and toes. Supporting yourself with your hands, you're going to lift up enough to move those props from out of your way and lie back down flat on your mat. Good. Release the head side to side. If you want to take the knees side to side, keeping the feet wide, windshield wiping. Just starting to bring this movement into the body and feeling that opening remaining in your heart and upper back, even without the props. Come through center, set up for a bridge pose, tickle the backs of your heels, and then bring your hands to your hips, little cat-cows through the low back. So inhale, hips move away and you arch the low back away from the ground, keep the hips heavy. Exhale, scoop it in, press into the low back. Inhale a couple more times. scoop, press into the ground. Good, and then come through center. This time we're gonna press into the heels and lift up to a bridge pose. Inhale, find that mini cat pose with the low back. Exhale, tuck, curl, and press as you lift hips, low back, and mid back off the ground. Knees track forward. Take an inhale at the top. And exhale, slowly release down. Good. Let your hips settle here. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your knees into your chest and massage out the low back and hips, anything that might have come up in that bridge opening. Just feeling the glutes firing up so we can use them to support us. And then we're going to rock and roll up the spine, staying tight into a ball, massaging out the low, mid, and upper back until you come all the way forward. Come over the feet and find yourself in a tabletop position. Beautiful. Setting up for some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly. Think about lifting that heart, spreading that sternum, chest. Exhale, curl in, reverse the movement, find a dome back. 2 more rounds. Inhale, exaggerating the breath that leads the movement. Exhale, letting this be a moving meditation. And last one, pausing at the top on full, feeling the upper back open, shoulder blades together. And exhale, curl in once more, feeling the rounded shape as a really nice stretch, especially through the neck. Inhale, come back through center, tuck your toes. And I want you to lift your knees 1 inch off the ground, finding the low belly muscles, keeping your back flat, shifting yourself forward and back a couple times. And then drop your knees down. Maybe your toes stay tucked as you come all the way up to a kneeling shape. So hips over those knees, hands come to low back. We're looping those shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale, already a proud chest. And then exhale, start to squeeze the shoulder blades, bringing the arms a little closer together. Elbows move towards each other. Gaze is slightly lifted, but chin is forward in line with chest. Not leaning back, but feeling this through the upper back as it opens. Exhale, release. Let it go. Come back down into your tabletop. And this time I want you to tuck the toes and lift into your first downward facing dog. Let the feet pedal out, move the hips. Check in with the backs of the legs. Bend both knees a lot and then extend both legs. Seeing how high you can get those hips. This inversion allows your head to get heavy, releasing the effort in the neck. And it allows you to press that chest back, kind of still in a heart opening shape as your chest moves between the arms towards the legs. Inhale, high on the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and take little steps to the front of your mat. Feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, open the chest, press the legs back. Exhale, fold. Take a passive forward fold, shifting the weight into the toes, letting the arms dangle. Shake the head, yes, no. And then on your next exhale, slowly roll up all the way to a mountain pose, arms by your side. Soften or close the eyes. Take the left hand to the heart, right hand over top of left. Take a moment to find that smile once again, lifting the corners of your mouth. And think about who you might want to dedicate this practice of love to. Maybe it is just yourself, but maybe there's someone else in your life that needs a bit of gratitude and love sent their way. With that in mind, drop the arms. Inhale, reach them overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground, step to a plank pose, pause. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Hands come wide, fingertips down, elbows towards sky. Inhale, start to lengthen the spine, and exhale, lift yourself up, open the chest. Again, inhale, lower. Exhale, loop shoulders back, find that opening through mid and upper back. Make sure the low back feels good. Exhale, release. Hands to the ground, tuck the toes, press into hands and knees. Back through child's pose and up into a downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, start to walk your hands back to meet your feet. Sit back into an imaginary chair, feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale, lift the chest, open up the arms. Exhale, 3 pulses for 3 little squat sits. 2, 1. Inhale, stand tall, interlace hands. Exhale, soften knees and fold over the legs. Inhale, drop the arms, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, walk it out. Find that plank pose, and on your exhale, lower back down to your belly. This time, hands underneath the shoulders. On your exhale, like you're slithering yourself forward, baby cobra, lift the chest, nose. And exhale, release. One more time. Press into the tops of the feet as well. Lift the knees, inhale. And exhale, squeeze upper back, heart shining forward. And then let it come down. Press into knees and hands. Tuck the toes, lift up and back into a downward facing dog. Once again, inhale here. Exhale, last time, walk yourself back to meet the toes. Inhale, sit back into that chair. Exhale, rise the chest. Inhale, up an inch. Exhale, down an inch for 2, 1. Inhale, tall, reach the arms overhead and then interlace them behind you. Open your chest and dive forward. Shoulders open. Get heavy over those legs. Next, inhale, drop the arms, press into the legs, open the chest. Exhale, fold, walk yourself back out to that plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. This time, bring the hands a little bit wider than your mat. Press into the tops of the feet. On the exhale, start to push into palms. Make sure the low back feels good. Only extend the arms any amount. You do not have to straighten those elbows completely. And start to lift the chest. Maybe find more mobility through mid and upper back as the heart shines forward once again. And exhale, come back down. Good. Press into the hands, tuck the toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths to reset. Feel if you want to move, you pedal the feet. If you'd rather hold in stillness, give that a try. 2 more breaths. Bend the knees at the bottom of your next exhale. Look forward and step front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, hands through heart center. Building heat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant palms, step back. Lowering, maybe not dropping the knees, finding that control, coming all the way to the belly. Settle the hands under the head, and I want you to point the toes and practice lifting one leg at a time from the smile line of the glutes. Take your time. Keep the pelvis pressing down, lifting the leg, even the thigh. And then pause through center, bring the hands behind you, interlace. Open the chest, already feeling a pull as your chest lifts off the ground. Zip your legs up together, touch your big toes, take an inhale. And exhale, legs lift any amount. And then pull with that fist, chest lifts any amount. Mindful of the low back, gaze is forward, any amount for this locust shape. You don't have to get the thighs off the ground. You don't have to get the belly lifted at all. And then gently come down, support the head again, bend the knees, and windshield wipe out the feet. Counter pose, press yourself up safely through knees and hands, and then find a wide-legged child's pose, letting that low back and hip area spread and reset. Head supported, come back to your breath if you've lost it. Play with that green visualization if it helps you focus on the heart center. And continue to invite that smile into your expression to keep the tone light for your practice. Remembering you're not trying to push yourself or criticize yourself. You're actually trying to show yourself some love. So maybe that means backing off. Definitely it means forgiving yourself if a pose doesn't look or feel the perfect way you want it to. Slowly roll yourself up. Shrug your shoulders. Maybe turn your head into a little semicircle, dropping one ear and then the other. And then we'll find a downward facing dog. Just to get out of all this back bending, lift your right leg up. Open the hip, bend the knee, let that leg get heavy behind you as you continue to press through both hands and center the chest. Opening hip flexor, straighten the leg, return it to the ground, other side, left leg up, open hip, bend the knee. Gaze is still back to those other toes that are on the ground. Head is dead weight between the arms. Inhale, straighten, close it up. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly roll up if it feels good, letting the spine stack. And then we're gonna play with dancer's pose. So settle both feet grounded, bend the knees, then transition the weight into the right leg. Bend the left knee, open the left shoulder, and grab the inside of that foot. Connect the knees, tuck the pelvis, and feel the squeeze of the glute, activating the stretch in the front of the left leg. You can stay here, focusing on balance and focusing on sensation through the quad and hip flexor. Or for more of a back bend, you're going to kick the foot into hand, hand into foot, and just lift any amount. The heart naturally stays open, the upper back starts to extend, and you want to keep your chest high instead of letting it fall forward or parallel to the ground. Gently release. Other side. Make sure to grab the inside of the foot. Find your balance, bending through the left knee so it's not locked. Left hand is an accessory. You can always keep it on your waist. And then make sure your hips are facing forward so you're not opening the hips. You're kicking with neutral hips, making it more about the extension through the upper back, even though you have so much mobility through the low back and it's easy to go way overboard. See if you can pause at that moment of control where the core contains the low back, and the heart still shines forward. Slowly release. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring the feet hip-width distance. Active forward fold. Take your peace fingers under your big toes. Connect them to your thumbs. Bend your knees a lot. This is how we make sure our upper back stays open and flat, is by connecting belly to thighs. And then as we pull on the toes, elbows come to the side, and we begin to release the head. Shift the weight forward and extend the legs any amount. Breathe here. Chest is still open even if you are folded forward, because you're not letting yourself round through the upper back. Slowly release, let it go passive. Take a slow roll up. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, more space through the chest. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank pose. If you want to take a chaturanga, you'll come forward, knees up or down, lower halfway or all the way to the belly. If you're in chaturanga and you want to try up dog, flip onto the tops of the feet, press into straight arms, shine chest through those arms, gaze up, and focus on mid and upper back, control of the legs, lifting thighs and hips. Exhale, rolling over the toes, up and back into a downward facing dog. Reset. Lots of back bending. If you feel tenderness through the low back, it's okay. If you feel any pain or sharpness, definitely back off from any other back bends that we're going to do and focus on just breathing and making that area feel supported. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, drop down to the belly. Okay, last big back bend we're going to do. I want you to either take that locust pose with the hands behind you and the feet lifted. It's still a big back bend and it does require a lot of strength. If your low back is feeling great, you can bend your knees. You're going to reach back for the feet. Grab actually the tops of the feet. So you're actually going to grab from the outside of the feet. Head is lifted, already feeling like you can press that pelvis and belly more into the mat. Inhale here. And exhale, start to kick both feet, just like in dancer's pose, into the hands. Hands pull against feet, and you're lifting into a bow pose. Legs may lift higher if it feels accessible. Arms reaching back, getting a stretch through the chest. Don't let the knees splay too much, and don't let the low back be pinched at all. Breathing here if it feels okay. Focusing on that heart opener, that upper back mobility. And then slowly release. Turn your head to one side and shake out the hips. Let it go. Good. That was pretty much our peak pose for today's practice. I want you to simply roll over onto your back body from where you are. It'll feel good to bring those knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug and rock out the low back. Soften eyes or even close them. Smile still evident on the lips, but otherwise face is soft. Stay here or bring the knees wide, grabbing shins, continue to rock. And then you can turn this into happy baby, grabbing ankles or feet. Feet towards sky, arms inside of knees, knees bending outside of armpits. Really trying to Get the hips back through neutral. Ground the tailbone and ground the shoulders. And breathe into the belly. Breathe into the spaces you need to pay attention to. And then when you're ready, bring the feet to the ground. It may feel good to just stack the knees for a twist. So option is knees fall over to the right, left on top of right, and you have a bit more of a gentle sensation through the low back. If you want to take a bind, you can wrap the leg left over right to bring more weight into this twist, getting the knees closer to the ground while at the same time trying to ground the left shoulder. Gaze over to the left. Wherever you are, right hand can be on belly and feel the rise and fall of the breath in this twist. Feel the belly hollow out on the exhale, making room for a deeper spinal twist. And then slowly come through center, unwind, either stacked the same way you did on the other side, or maybe those eagle legs is what you chose. Letting the knees fall left, letting that right shoulder ground down, and your gaze softly over to the right, or if you're closing the eyes, just turning the nose. Sigh it out, come back to that person you might have dedicated your practice to. Send them some love with your breath. Every inhale, expanding, filling yourself with the love you need. And every exhale, sending that love out into the world. Nourishing yourself first, and then giving some away. Come back through center. Ending the same way with the legs that we started, feet wide, knees collapsing together. This really supports the low back, really a good supportive shape for your Shavasana. Arms may become overhead, fingers touch, elbows bend. And you breathe high into the chest for a couple breaths, feeling this expansion across left and right side. That green color, visualizing it rise and fall, focusing on the heart chakra for the last few moments of intentional breath. And when you're ready to let the breath go and let yourself be in Shavasana, please do. I'll leave you here exactly as you are. Maybe that smile stays with you. Though your breath is automatic, you continue to follow it and pay attention to it. Though your body is still, you're still curious as to what's going on, trying to release tension, noticing. Mind focuses here, the practice of meditation, of mindfulness. And if you need a thought to ground you, can it be one of self-love? Can it be inhaling what you need? And exhaling, sending some of that love, compassion, and gratitude out to others. Take your time, only moving when you're ready. I encourage you to stay for at least a couple minutes. I'll let this video run for a couple extra minutes so that nothing plays right after it. But thank you as always for letting me guide your practice. Wishing you a restful day or evening ahead. Namaste.